guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Oyin. This is your first time here. Today's video is very special because, as you guys know, I started my master's degree at University of Salford last year September, and I finished this year September. So I've been waiting for my certificate, and it finally came in today. And guess what, guys? Your girl graduated with a distinction. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so freaking happy. Like, when I got my final results, I wish I could show you the video. I cried so much. I cried because I know, like, the things my eyes saw in this master's degree. I know, like, I really know. I was just speechless. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I just knelt down. I thank God. I called my family. I was so freaking happy. Like, it just made me feel like, this is something. My master's degree is something that is like something I've put my mind and everything to. Every single things I've forfeited, like, just to put my mind in this master's degree. So now graduating with the distinction, it just makes me feel very happy because now, like, it shows that my efforts were not wasted, like my hard work, like, really paid. Yeah, guys, so in this video I'm going to be telling you how it happened, the things I did, the things you could also learn from me, and also my results. Yeah, before I get straight into this video, let me tell you why your girl is not with a graduation cap right now. So basically, who would have known? Like, who would have thought? In all seriousness now. Yeah. So I really thought that if you pass, you do very well, like, automatically, like, you graduate that year. Like, that's how they did in Nigeria. Yeah. And I've been like looking for information on this graduation stuff, and I even went to school to ask for information, and they told me that they'll get back to me October, first week of October, that they'll send it to my mail. So me, I just sat down waiting for mail. I didn't receive mail. That's why I sat down waiting for mail till end of October. And I called them. I was like, okay, I've not gotten my mail, and graduation, on the website, graduation is next month. So what's happening? They told me that it's already full, that people have already registered. I'm like, what? I didn't get the mail. I kept saying I didn't get the mail. I told them to check that I didn't get that mail. I was so upset because my parents already planned to come here. Like, they already got their ticket and everything. I was so upset, guys. Like, I cried seriously because even at the end of the day, like, whether you attend the ceremony or not, you shan't graduate. But God, I really wanted it to happen this year. So I was very upset. I called them. I was complaining. I even said they complained to the school. Like, I've been asking for information, literally. I'm meeting my lecturers, everything. Everybody just keeps pushing me around. They don't know. And at the end of the day, it's already filled up. And guys, there was no graduation last year. So there's been a long waiting list. So the link got, like, fully booked in just 2 freaking days. So yeah, I and a lot of people have been postponed till July next year. And by God's grace, I will attend that ceremony. Since I'm not attending the ceremony this month, November. Yeah, this month, I decided to, get my clothes and take my pictures. If you want to see my pictures, you guys should go and check out my Instagram at oyin.new. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. My transcript is here, and I'm going to be going, like, through my results with you guys and just telling you, like, the experience, like, my schoolwork, every single thing. Yeah. And as you know, I studied digital marketing for my master's in University of Salford, and coming here, I finished 2-2 in my bachelor's, mass communication. So I was really sad I finished with 2-2, and it took, like, I wasn't really doing well in school at the beginning of my bachelor's. So it, like, took me, like, a whole turnaround for me to start putting all my performance into my academic work, and it was already too late. What they say, like, you have to do your best in the first year, second year, because that's where it's going to help your CGPA. So yeah, I finished with 2-2, and I was very sad because it was at the end of my university that I started getting A's, B's. Like, I started, like, knowing, like, oh yeah, like, I'm really good at this. Like, I could read and I would remember. Yeah, I was really good at that. So I got really sad. I was so close to praying for extra year because I really wanted to prove myself and get to 2-1, but there's no point. So yeah, when I was coming, my best friend, like we discussed, we're like, okay, you know what, like it's already too late for us to get to one. So we're going to put all our whole effort in our masters and graduate with a first class or a distinction. That time we're not sure how they grade it. Yeah. So I came here knowing in my mind that I've already discussed with my best friend and I'm going to get this distinction. I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it and get a distinction, guys. So when I came, I was ready to read because I know how to read very well. I was ready to read, and I figured out that there was no reading. Like, sorry, there was no reading. There was no exams. Yeah, like the way you read and write exam, like there was no exam. So what's going on? You have to write essays. Where I'm coming from, I didn't even used to write essays. Yeah, I don't even think I've written a proper essay in my life before I got to this place. And the essay is like 2,500 words, 3,500 words, 5,000 words, and that's how they grade the system. Yeah. I don't know about other courses, but my course, it was essays throughout. I was really sad because I'm not really good at essays, guys. I'm not good at essays at all. And I said, okay, no problem, let's just start. I have 4 modules, and for each module you have 2 coursework inside one module. So, and each of them is over 100. So when you pass a course, like let's say you get 50 over 100, 50 over 100, they'll add the 50 together and divide it by 2. That's how you know if you've passed the module or not. And you have to get 50 to pass the module. Yeah, above 50 to pass the whole module. So whatever you get, if you get 60 in the first course, if you get 40, like just add everything together and then you know what you get in your module. So I attended class physically, like let's say 4 times. I can't even remember because of that COVID time. So all my classes were like based online. So I didn't even have opportunity to even meet my classmates and at least make friends, to get to know people. So I would always pay attention in class. I would always listen. When we had classes, physical classes, I would read we had the presentation of all our notes. I would read it before I go for each class so that I can be able to engage and talk to my lecturer when he's discussing and all of that. So I did that, and it was time for the assessment, the essay, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Actually, I only relied on the information that a friend of mine gave me, and I just got into work. I went to the library, I did my work because I can't read at home, I can't focus at home. If I want to work, I always go to the library. So I was in the library trial trying to figure out the assignment. I even added pictures, I researched, and these people, they like references. Like they want academic reference, so Google Scholar was very, very helpful. And I did all that, and the result came out, and your girl got 51 over 100. Oh my goodness, I cried. I was so sad. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Like, I reached out to my lecturer immediately. I'm like, wait, what happened? Because before I submitted, I set up a meeting with him so that he could help me to run through the assessment, my essay, help me to see if I did the right thing, basically. So I did it late. I did it like maybe 2 days before the submission date. So he just scanned through, and he was like, he didn't want me to get worked up, that I didn't really understand the question. I did opposite of what he asked me to do. And he told me that next time that I have the opportunity to ask him questions, I can set up a meeting with him, to call him, I can send a mail like, oh, I don't understand this, can you explain to me? And I was like, okay, no problem. And he even knew me. He knew me. He was like, I used to see you engage in class, and next time just reach out to me to ask me questions. Next one, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be active. I'll put everything in this one. So the next one was a group work. And group work, not as if we even know ourselves. They said we should form a group of 4 or 5. And I didn't want to be in a very bad group, because anything you get in your group, that's what you get. And now that I didn't even pass my first course, I need to do very well so I can pass the second one. So I didn't want to be in a very funny group. I wanted to choose my group myself. So, and I went to go and choose, like I set up my own group myself. I reached out to people that I've seen in class that used to participate, and I asked them if they want to be in my group. I also reached out to a friend of mine. I just saw that she's Nigerian. I emailed her. I was like, oh, do you want to be in my group? And I also got someone too that was my friend. So basically that was what I did wrong. I added my friends to the group. My group was not, I regretted, my group, because we're not really like communicating. Like, even I was trying to, like, when you communicate and at least share the work, and the way groups are, some people will reply, some people will not reply you, and some people will do the work right, some people will not do the work right, and you cannot really, like, shout at them or something. Like, you have to just talk to them and everything. So I really regretted that group. Honestly, we did so bad, so bad. And when it was time to submit, I was the only one that showed up for, like, we didn't even have a meeting together. That's just even shows that the group was not even on a good standing. We didn't have a meeting together. We all talked on WhatsApp, do this. Like, no, but we didn't really have a meeting. We didn't really meet one-on-one to at least discuss or something. So I was like, okay, like, last time I showed Professor my work, like, I'm sure he would be able to go through this before we submit. And I was the only one that showed up for the meeting. And he just went through it and said, okay. Guys, the result came out. Guess what I got? Or guess what we got? 40 over 100. Oh, God. I didn't even know where to even find tears. Like, at this point, I'm like, God, anything I graduate with, just give me like that. Because I'm like, what? And people in the group were not even really bothered. Because maybe they passed the first one, they got maybe like 60 something. I got 50 or 51 in the first one. So I know that this is like, I've already failed the whole module. Like, this is not a good stand, I regretted that group, guys. And the funniest thing was that I reached out to the man. I was like, sir, like, God, like, what happened? And, it was like, we're not serious in the group. It was like, we're not serious, and I need to be very careful next time who I ask to my group. I shouldn't ask my friends. That's what he said. I shouldn't ask my friends to join my group. Yeah, I need to, like, at least find people or join other groups too. So in my next group assignment, I said, okay, I've learned my lesson. Yeah. Oh yeah, guys. So because I got 40, I had to, like, redo the course. So I had to redo the assessment. And the man told me that at the end of the day, like, they can waive it for me if I do very well in my future courses. I'm like, I can't depend on that. Like, I need to know I passed this so that I can have peace of mind. So I willingly, I think I was even the only one that redid my assessments. Yeah. And I just didn't want to have that 40 in my result at all. Yeah. And so I did the assessment again. When you do the assessment again, you cannot get above 100 again. It's now 50. So whatever you get, it's 50 that you get. So I was like, yeah, 50 is better than 40. So yeah, I passed when I did. And if you're doing it yourself, if there's no group, you have to do it on your own. So I did about 3,000 words on my own or something. The professor even told me to go and watch YouTube videos, how to write essay, UK format, and just like how to write and all of that. So I went online, I went to YouTube, I read a lot on essay writing. This girl Chidera, she also did a video on essays. I read a lot on how to write essays and how to reference properly and how to also check for plagiarism and all of that. So I had to do all of that. So my next module was called Search and Social Media Marketing. Now this is my part, because I already worked a bit before I came to study my master, so I have an idea of what digital marketing is about, and my core was social media marketing. Yeah, so the first one was an individual assignment. So the first one was a group assignment. Yeah, and this time I already messed up my former group. I'm not going to go back to that same group. I have to go to a better group. So this time around, I didn't create my own group. I waited for everybody to get theirs. I remember the lady I saw in class. She was very, very active in class. She was even trying to create group chats for everyone so they can communicate. And I reached out to her on the group. Yeah, I got her number and I reached out to her. God, I'm very observant. I reached out to her and I was like, I just tried to, like, make friends with her. Remember, I didn't even have any friend. I tried to make friends with her and just tried to get to know her. And I was asking her about her assignment and she was telling me what she got. And I'm like, hey, this girl is good. So I knew that I needed to make friends with her. So in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, oh, have you gotten a group? I'm still looking for a group. Like, do you have a group already? She now told me that they already have a group. Like, there are like 4 girls and they're looking for like the 5th person. In my mind, I'm dying. Please add me to your group. So I asked her, I was like, can I join your group? And she was like, she can't confirm from other girls. So they added me to the group. Honestly, that's the best group I've ever been in my entire life. Everybody was on their A game. Everybody was serious. In our first day together, we created like a Zoom meeting so we can get to see each other. We can get to like, read out the assignment, and everybody can bring like their own point of view to understand the assignment. I'm like, hey, this was what didn't happen in my last group. So this shows that I'm in a good group. Yeah, everyone here is so serious and trying to get a good mark, and we're all girls. So we even discussed our last group work and the mistakes we did and how we can do better as a group. I was so happy with that group. Honestly, I was so happy with that group. And at the end of the day, we worked together. We held meetings together. If you don't understand something, we asked. We were always like very active on the group. All of us were so active on the group, and we did our part. And someone added it together and submitted. Guess what we got? 74. That was my first A. That assignment gingered me. God, I was so happy. That assignment gingered me. So I was so happy with the group. We even decided that we're going to stay together in case we have any other group work in the future. But we didn't have any other group work in the future. But we always helped each other out in case we don't understand something. So the next work I did was an individual portfolio. And this was when I wrote my blog. And also I had to optimize my LinkedIn too. So remember, guys, like, I've not written an essay before. I forgot to say this. And my first essay, my second module, I knew that this is an individual essay. I need to do very well by myself. So what I did was to reach out. I went to Instagram. I did hashtag digital marketing Salford University. And I saw people that have graduated from Salford University and studied digital marketing. I reached out to each and every one of them. I'm like, oh, like, I found you on Instagram. Like, I have a couple questions. I know you did this course before. Like, can you explain this to me? Blah, blah, blah. And they were really helpful, honestly. One even gave me like a format, like an essay format on how I should write my essay. And, that really, really helped me. And she was very, very nice to me. She also graduated with a distinction like during that time. So that really helped me. So at least I had a format on how to write essays. And she also explained to me plagiarism, everything, referencing everything. So I was like, I'm ready to like, take over the world right now. So I also, for my blog, I went online, I searched for my topic, and I saw a list of what other people have done. And this really, really helped me to understand how they wrote it, like the format, and how they created the blog basically. So one of the most important thing I did was to learn from other people, past people that have done this in the past. So I wrote my blog, and I came out with 60. So remember, the first work I got 74, second one I came with 60. So 74 plus 60 equals to 134. So you have to divide it by 2 to know your mark. So that's 67. So second one I got 67. I was so happy. I was like really so happy. So the next one, and remember, guys, I literally put my whole best. I literally put my whole best in my blog. In case you've not read my blog or seen my blog, check it out. I'm going to put it in the description box. Basically, we're asked to write about how Salford University has helped us in our career and the things we've learned basically, and our experience so far. So I did that, and I gave people to proofread for me. You need to do that. And also, you also need to always check, there's something called Turnitin. When you upload your work, it gives you like your plagiarism score. You need to make sure that you don't go above the yellow line. So if not, they're going to reduce your mark because they think you copied, and they really, really take that very seriously. My next module was digital marketing analytics and strategy. And the first one, I did so well in this course, guys, so well. The first one was an individual course, and we were asked to create a strategy for Moonpig. And I've done strategy in the past before, so this was so easy for me. I did so well. The first one I got 71 in my assignment, my individual assignment. The next one was digital marketing analytics. I wanted to cry every day. The woman is studying in class, and all I'm hearing is mathematics. I'm like, why am I even studying again? honestly speaking, I thought I was going to fail. I thought I was going to fail that course, guys, because analytics, I did training on analytics, but I never focused on it. All this I don't even want to even get into it. But yeah, like that was very hard. But when it was time for the assignment, what I did was I just followed the format in class that the woman has given us in class. And yeah, so basically, like, you say, when they say 2 plus 2 is 4, yeah, that kind of formula. So I just followed the formula and I just gave my explanation, and I was so surprised. I got 76, and I'm like, what? So when you add 71 plus 76, that makes it 74. So in the old model, I got 74. So the next one was online consumer behavior, and this one, it was just over 100. We didn't have 2 assessments inside, just 1 over 100, and we had a whole month break before we submit this course. And I think that's what made me slack. Yeah, I started working because we had breaks. So I started working. I got really distracted with work. Not as if I even used to go out or do anything, but it was just my work because we were on break. So I got really distracted with work, and I had little time to do my assessments. Yeah, I really regretted it. I cried so much. I was so like pained when I saw when I saw my results. But yeah, I deserved it. So yeah, in this course I got 50, and I was so sad. So yeah, the next one, yeah, so I already called my professor and I asked him, I'm like, you should explain to me the whole thing. And he told me that your dissertation is like 70% of your whole program. Yeah, and if you can pass your dissertation, it will be able to cover the things that you've done in the past. Yeah, so my dissertation, I didn't take it lightly. I didn't. Oh my goodness, I had to stop work for a while for this dissertation. Please take your dissertation very seriously, because even though you don't do well before, this dissertation can change your whole life around. So my dissertation, I did internship, so I was very confused. I didn't even know where to start, because internship is like 10,000 words. So I'm like, what am I supposed to write 10,000 words for internship? Yeah, like I'm doing the same thing every day for this company. So what am I supposed to write for 10,000 words? And my professor explained to me. I was even very scared for my professor, because this was the same man that failed me the first time. So everyone knew that I was very strict. So I was really scared. But I always had meetings with him. And also my internship, my supervisor for my internship really commended me for my work to my supervisor and everything. So even the first draft I did was rubbish, because he just looked at my work and he was like, you need to go and look for the format for dissertation online, because it's just all over the place. And that's what I did. I was so confused. I was asking people, I was like, I'm doing internship, but how do I mix it with dissertation? Like, I was so confused, guys. So my professor, helped me out, like, oh yeah, like you need to look for topics to do with your internship. Like, okay, you're already writing content during your internship. Also look for things that you can be able to check out and do research on. That thing that helped me was this website. I don't know the website right now, but I'm going to check it for you guys. That website has a lot of dissertation format. People have written dissertation and passed, and they have their format and the templates, every single thing in that place. So yeah, I use the templates there, because in my class they didn't really give us a template. So you need a template. You need to also write it like a professional. Like, you can't be using like second person. Like, you have to use the researcher, the author. Like, oh my goodness, remember that this thing has to be your own work. You cannot copy anybody. It has to be your work. So yeah, at the end of the day, let's just move forward. At the end of the day, I got 71. Oh God, I was so happy. I cried tears of joy when I saw it. I was so happy. I don't even know how to even tell you guys. I'm very thankful for my friends here and abroad that helped me to proofread, corrected me, and I just really have very supportive people around. And yeah, guys, that's just how everything happened, and that is my results. Our summary of this whole video is that you should be very prayerful to God and just tell God like what you want. And it's one thing to tell God and it's one thing to work towards it. So tell God what you want. That's what I did. When I came, I told God I want distinction. Yeah, no matter what happens, I want distinction. And I knew I had my own work to put into getting that distinction. So yes, and the second thing is to make sure you are very engaging in class. Make sure you take notes, and also make sure that you are very friendly with your lecturers, not over friendly, because some of them are very strict. So make sure that, because you have opportunities, not like Nigeria, you can email them, you can set up meetings, you can set up Zoom meetings. I remember always disturbing my lecturer, can I set up a meeting? Even though it's very busy, be like, oh, I can only give you 20 minutes, and that 20 minutes I will use it. So because sometimes when you ask your friends, they might not really understand the assignment the way the person that gave you will understand it. So I always, for all of my assessment, even after they explain in class, I set up meeting so that I can understand one-on-one. Yeah, always ask questions, people that have done it before in the past. Always check out for past works too, and also be very careful of plagiarism. They take it, it's like a penalty here. Like you could literally get like persecuted. Yeah, you get what I mean. Another thing is to join study groups. Yeah, so the second group I did was like a study group, because we always helped each other out, and we never had any group assignment to work together with. So if I don't understand something, I will ask the group, and I will also ask like, how are you guys doing this, how are you guys doing this, and we explain and we do it together. We never met physically, but we're always active on that group chat. That's when I changed my number that I even left the group. But yeah, that group was very, 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 very helpful to me. And always make sure that you attend to you watch tutorials online. Go and check for how to write essays. Go and check for how to avoid plagiarism. Go and check for how to use academic referencing. Like, always check on that. Overall, just focus on your masters. My boyfriend will always tell me that when you have 1 year for your masters, so you need to make use of that 1 year, because sometimes I want to attend something, or I want to travel, I want to go here, and it'll be like, you have just 1 year for your master's, or just 1 year. Yeah, so you have other like years of your life to do other things, but just this 1 year, just put everything you can to focus on it. And even parties that you cannot attend, travel that you cannot travel, by the time you are done, you get your post-study visa, and you can be able to do all these things. Yeah, so just leave this 1 year for your master's, and if it's 2 years, so use 2 years. And even if you need to do all these things, always remember that your work is your work and play is play. Yeah, and also know what works best for you. I figured out what works best for me. I can't read at home, I can't stay at home and read, and I always have to go to the library. Sometimes I go to the library myself and I spend all day there, and I know if I'm there, I'm going to get something done. If I'm at home, I won't get something done. So know what works best for you, and utilize that. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. We've come to the end of this video. I wish you all the best if you are just starting out, and if you finished, I wish you all the best like in your future endeavors. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.